Hey guys, welcome to the Tech Career Booster. My name is Charles Ballardin, and this video is part of the Reflections on the Career, a series where we discuss many aspects of the IT career. Today, we'll be talking about financial stability as a software engineer, a six-figure career, and you're going to be understanding how hard it is to achieve it. I want to start showing you guys my tattoo. It says there is no stability. And I want to explain that. I want to explain why I have a tattoo on my arm saying there is no stability, but I'm talking to you guys about financial stability now. I truly believe that the natural status of things is unstable. Nothing is actually stable. So if you are looking for stability, as a meaning of stability, something doesn't change without you doing anything, that doesn't exist. At least that's my belief. I believe, like, if you like something or if you have something, you have to be constantly working to keep that. That's why I say stability doesn't exist, and I actually picked that saying for a famous guy in Brazil. He's an entrepreneur, and his name is Flávio Augusto, and he usually says that, and I took that to me, and I put that in my arm to never forget it, because in that way, I'm gonna be always remembering that we always should be doing something to keep the things we have, to keep the things we achieved. And what's the meaning of that? The meaning of that is if you just stop doing whatever you were doing, things are going to start to deteriorate. They're going to start to rust. Nothing lasts forever if you don't keep that. That's the tricky behind stability. So if you want a true and solid source of income for you, you have to be constantly working for that. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how you're going to keep a good income coming. You're going to have to trust yourself. You're going to have to trust your knowledge. You're going to have to trust how good you are to actually keep that income coming every week, every month, whatever. And software engineer is a good career for that. Just before we continue, I want to give you another example why I believe stability doesn't exist, so you can understand that better. Imagine you have a garden full of blooming roses. What's going to happen to those roses if you don't care for it? If you don't garden it, if you don't grow them, what's going to happen to them? What's going to happen to that garden? It's going to turn into a thicket. It's going to be full of weeds. You have to be constantly growing that, constantly caring for that. Another example is a piece of iron. What's going to happen to a piece of iron if you just leave that and don't do anything? If you put that outside and leave that there, even a piece of iron, which is something really strong, it's going to rust. If you just leave that out there without any protection, it's going to rust. You have to paint it, you have to care for it, otherwise it's going to rust itself. What happened to the relationships if you don't cultivate that? What happened to your relationship with your girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, whatever? What happened to your family if you don't take time to stay with them, if you don't care for them? What's going to happen to your friends, to your mates, if you don't care for them, if you don't call your mate constantly, if you don't meet with them? What's going to happen to that relationship? It's going to end. You're going to find yourself alone. All the relationships are going to be gone if you don't care for them. And that's why I believe stability does not exist. Stability is something unreal. Despite we all want that, despite we all pursue that, there is no stability. And I got a tattoo in my arm, a real tattoo for never forget it. It keeps reminding me that I have to constantly look after the things I love. So let's talk about software engineering, career path, a good source of income, a six-figure career. I know most of you are concerned of your future, what's coming, your career, your goals. And I'm going to bring to you today a way to keep that, how you can achieve that. But I can guarantee it's not through stability. It's not through not doing anything. If you just sit back, relax, don't do anything, you already know where you're going to end up. You're going to end up nowhere, alone, by yourself, without income, without a life, without relationships. You have to care for everything you love. Your body, you have to exercise to care of your body. The food you eat, what you are putting inside of your body. You have to care for your relationships, and you have to care for your career. You have to constantly study, to constantly grow, to constantly learn, so you can keep your source of income. And the software engineer is a good career for that. Let's talk about it. I want to talk about this. Australian government expects around 121,000 jobs opening over 5 years. That's about 24,000 a year for software and applications programmers. What does that mean? That means in the future will be a lot of positions opening. At the moment, if you search in Seek or LinkedIn or wherever, you're going to find thousands of positions opening for that. And how was that in the past? I've been in the industry for more than 20 years. I've started to learn that when I was 16. I've started to work with that when I was 18. And I've been there for 20 years and it's still the same. It's an always in high demand career. They're always needing for devs, engineers, programmers, call as you want, but it's all the same thing or similar thing. I wouldn't call everything the same, but they are in the same way. And there are always open positions for that. You can go across the globe wherever you want. Anywhere in the world, you're going to find an open position for that. You could find that 20 years ago, 10 years ago, you can find it now. And obviously, you're going to be able to find that in the next 5, 10, 20 years. And why I can say that? I can say that because everything we do, if you look around, you don't have to be the smartest guy in the room to understand your world and see what's going on. Everything is becoming software, technology. Everything that surrounds you has a software embedded in that. Previously, it was just computers. Then they came with laptops. And then the laptops, they came with smartphones. And smartphones, like they become smart watches. They became many other devices we can find these days. I have Alexa. You can talk to whatever you want. And there's embedded software in there. And more recently, the AI. It's dominating everything. I mentioned in other videos already what's going to happen with the advent of AI. What's going to happen to software developers? We're going to need more and more software developers for that. It's obviously. Before starting this video, I've made a research about the average salaries for devs. And obviously there is a huge range. The salary varies between technologies, experience, many factors. But I want to bring to you guys a number just so you know what's going on currently in the market. And even I would not say currently, because this data is based on research from the past. So if we are seeing the data now, it's because it was yesterday, at least. It was like last month, last half year, last year. It's not today's data. we can't observe that in real time. So we don't know what's the numbers today, but we know the last numbers, the last time they asked someone. And the numbers I found so far is the average salary for devs in Australia is between 82 to $146,000, with the highest paying companies paying up to $233,000 per year. Obviously, it's not for everyone. That number is coming from Google. Google is the higher pay in Australia. And obviously, I got that data from many sites, as you guys can see, like PayScale, Levels5, Seek, Indeed, Glassdoor. I had to grab data from all of them to actually come up with these numbers because it's not clear. They do their own researches and they have different numbers. So I'm just summarizing that to you guys. But if you look at that, it's impressive. I know there are other careers which even pay more than that, but there are not many. The average salary for most of the careers is way less than that. If you look at Australia in general, most of people makes less than the lowest level in the bracket I just showed you guys. So there is a good compensation there. There is a good compensation to pursue, but that's not an easy way to get there. To get there, you have to be consistently learning. You have to be consistently doing things for yourself. You have to be consistently studying and always keeping up to date with the market. So, what are the key skills you're going to need for that career? I've been talking about that in many other videos already. If you go to my channel, you're going to find other videos about it. But the key skills, I would say, are problem solving as the most important one so far. If you're able to resolve problems, especially logical and technical problems, you are the king in the market. Other than that, you obviously gonna need a programming language like JavaScript, Python, C++. There are many languages like front-end languages, back-end languages, mobile languages. There are many. You're gonna need to know at least one, probably more than one. And obviously, you're going to need some more soft skills like attention to details, teamwork, continuous learning. That's all the skills you're going to have to pursue and learn to become and continue being a good software engineer, a good software developer. Another thing I want to be talking to you guys is about the flexibility. Yeah, software engineers, they usually have a lot of flexibility in the career. The one I like the most is remote work. Like that career that allowed me to work from wherever I want. At the beginning, it brought me to Australia. I came from Brazil and I was able to continue my career in Australia. I started that in Brazil. I worked for many years in there. And when I moved to Australia, just because I was able to code, I was actually able to keep working in the same area which I was working before. And that's not the reality for most of people. Most of people, as an immigrant, it's very hard to get a job on your area. It's very hard to move countries, to move to the other side of the world, talking a different language, which is not your mother language. It's not your culture. Everything is different. And then people also have to change their career. They also have to change the things they do because most of the things they do, they are different in a different country. You know, most of the things, most of the careers, if you get like a law career, for example, what a lawyer is going to do in a different country, all the laws are different. It's very hard. It's hard for many professions to actually continue doing the same thing in a different place, while for the IT, for software developers, for many of the paths in the IT, it's all the same around the world. Wherever you go, it's all the same thing. Programming languages are all the same. The way you code is the same. Systems are the same. Systems are translated in many languages. So for me, it was the easiest thing actually find a job in my area. I found a job before I found a place to live in. Believe it or not, I was actually working as a dev before being able to rent a place to live in. I couldn't find a place to rent. I was living in a sort of Airbnb because I couldn't find anywhere to rent. And it was 2016 when I moved in Australia. At that time, it was already hard to rent a place. The competition, you had to apply for a house for anywhere you want to live. And I had to apply. I applied to many places. I wasn't chosen by the landlords. So I actually found a job before finding a place to live in. Can you believe that? That flexibility is only for IT careers. Most of other careers, you can't do that. You can't move around the world. You can move to another place and continue doing the same thing you usually do. And now, after the pandemic time, we also have the remote work. We even don't have to go to the offices anymore. It was a reality in the past, like before the pandemic time, but not for many. Most of the companies were still working from the office. I was still working in the office when the pandemic time came. But then the reality just changed and they sent everyone to work from home. And most of the companies in the world, they learned that things are still working even if you work remotely. And then it anticipated many years from the future where the working remotely was about to grow. It anticipated that to the current time. And now we have many ways to work. We have like people who go to the office, but we also have people who work remotely 100% of the time, and some people do the hybrid thing. So working remotely is another flexibility you can have in that career. It's another good thing. Some people allow you to do like flexible hours. Not some people, some companies are gonna allow you to do some flexible hours. Not all of them. Also, you're gonna find some companies with nice offices where you can have many things in the office. Some companies, they have like video games, they have like beer, they have restaurant. Some companies, they used to do that, especially the big ones. They used to do that in the time everyone was going to the office. Nowadays, it's not like a big thing anymore. Most of the companies already have that. In the past, it was like a cool, a nice thing. I'm not sure if people actually value that these days because it became like something common. But yeah, these are the good things as well, other than the salary. But I have to be brutally honest with you guys. It's not all sunshine and rainbow. Despite I've told you the career is good, there's a lot of perks, there's a lot of good things, there is a six-figure salary in there for you to pursue. There is a lot of good things, but it's not all beers and skills. You have to work hard, you have to work your butt hard to actually get there. And not just to get there, but to keep yourself in there, but continuously be in there. You have to work hard, you have to keep learning always. You have to be always studying after hours, whenever you can. It's not an easy thing. That's why I started the video with the stability thing, with my tattoo, which says there is no stability. Because you're gonna have to continuously working your ass off. Sorry for the words, but that's reality. That's how it is. I have already talked in other videos about the main paths you can pursue, like a full stack dev, a front end dev, back end dev, or mobile dev. There are many paths to pursue, but the steps to get there, doesn't matter which one you're gonna choose, are very similar. You have to start defining goals. Where we want to go? Where are you trying to get? Where you are going to be in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, what you want to be doing. Obviously, you don't know exactly what you want, but you should be able to see the future, like if you had a crystal ball, where you want to be. The future doesn't simply happen. You build it. I'm not sure if you have noticed that, but you build your future. It's not just going to happen to you. You're going to be building that. And the way you build that is actually thinking of that, is actually thinking of your goals. Everything which is going to happen in your life is going to first happen in your mind. You're going to have to think of that first. You'll be dreaming with that. You're going to be thinking of that. You're going to be building that in your mind. And once you build that in your mind, once you dream with that, once you see that feature, then you can actually take the steps to actually get there. Then you can actually go to that path. Then you're going to pursue that. So first step is dream of it. First step is actually see yourself doing that. If you want to become a software engineer, if you want to become a dev, see yourself doing that. Which company you're going to be working for, or which software you're going to be developing. You don't have to work for others. You can work for yourself. You can build your own app. You can build your own system. What you want to build, how you're going to be helping other people with your systems. Once you plan what you want to build, not exactly the tool, but where you want to be, which feature you want to build to you, then you have to get what's the path for that. Then you have to see which technology, which tech stack you should be learning, where we should be finding people to talk with, which communities you should be joining, which projects you should be involved with. There are a lot of open source projects, a lot of things you should be involved with. You should be learning and getting practice. It's all about consistency. All the learning way, it's all about consistency. You're going to be learning and learning and learning and doing, learning, doing and learning. And with consistently doing that, at some point you're going to get there. You're going to find a job as a junior. Then from junior, you're going to become like a mid-level. And from mid-level, you're going to become a senior. And from senior, you may become like a leader. Or if you don't want that, you can just be a dev as you want. It's really up to you where you're going to end up. But one thing you should keep in mind, if you don't start, you're never going to get there. If you don't start doing things, if you don't start learning, if you don't start studying and continuously working in projects, you're never going to get there. So let's wrap it up. There are a lot of good opportunities out there. The career is sort of a dreaming career for many people, not for everyone, but for many people, it's a sort of a dreaming career. I can guarantee you I've been there. You can make a good money, probably won't become rich if you work as an engineer for other companies. You can become rich if you build your own system and sell that. If you work for others, you're probably going to have a good life, but not become rich. But you can have a really good life with a lot of flexibility and a lot of perks. Yes, that's the good side. What's the bad side? The bad side is it's not for free. It's not stable. It's not something you're going to learn and forget. It's not something you're going to be doing some efforts in the beginning. And then once you get there, you say, now I became a software engineer. I'm done. I'm stable now. I got a good job. I'm stable now. That does not exist. There is no stability. I'm going to state that again. There is no stability. It's going to be hard in the beginning. It's going to be hard while you're doing that. It's going to be hard up to the end. You always going to be learning and doing things. I would say that's the cons of that. You have pros and cons. Those are the cons. But overall, the balance is good. Overall, if you compare with others, for me, I don't have other words to say, but for me, it's perfect. That was the career I chose. That's the thing I've been doing for the last 20 years. And I'm pretty happy with that. I'm so happy with that I want other people to become the same. I'm here to help you because I'm so happy with that. That's why I'm here to help other people to become software engineers. So you guys can count on me. Leave me a message in the comments below. Share this video with someone you think is going to be useful. And don't forget to leave your thumbs up. That was it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this reflection, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.